All right, 6 practices in the book. I think we've built off every day. I see progress being made. Uh, but there's always a great sense of urgency to make more, and that's the key to the drill, to make as much progress and improvement as you can. And we've stayed relatively healthy with the exception of Tyler Morris, who had a non-contact knee injury and will require surgery and will miss the season. So onward.
Yeah, Curt, you mentioned kind of about third way through spring. Any position groups kind of stand out to you, good, bad, otherwise, in terms of what you've seen so far?
Oh, we're probably closer to 50%. To me, here's the way I look at that. We have who we have. On paper, some groups look like, oh, pretty good. Some groups you like, can he, and to me, it's about improving mindset, taking advantage of every rep, consistency and performance. Do we have any glaring holes out there? I don't see any glaring holes out there. Do we have any groups that are ready to compete for the Super Bowl right now? I don't see that either. I see a work in progress, like every team in America right now. The new guys are starting to get a hang of it, and I see the improvement sort of building off the previous practice, and I think we're improving more every practice right now. And the guys are getting the hang of it, the new guys. So.
Coach, a number of new guys along the D-line and McCall going to the other side. Just your thoughts on how they're coming along.
Up and down. I think a couple days ago, the offense got after the defense pretty good, ran the ball. That hadn't happened around here in a long time, got after their ass pretty good. And they responded the next day and controlled the line of scrimmage and put pressure on the quarterback and had a great day. And we'll see. I got to look at the tape to see how they did today. But we got capable guys, and, so they responded to the challenge. Like I've told you guys a number of times, the transfers that come in, the first half of spring ball is such an adjustment for them. The way we practice, the tempo, the language, our expectations, standards, and, the techniques being taught, especially up front on defense, they're different than maybe what the guys have been taught. Second half of spring, you see a different kind of guy. And so I've seen those guys flash, and we're capable.
Curt, E.J. Williams, we know his story of fighting through injuries. He was in the portal, which you've explained that situation before. What do you see in his attitude and his makeup, though, that keeps him coming back and keeps you coming back to him? What do you?
Well, he's always had a good attitude. He's always been a hard worker. The biggest thing at Clemson, he had some injuries. At Indiana's first year, he had some injuries. And he had some injuries when I got hired. And but I've always liked him personally. I like his work habits, and I like his talent. And he's got a burning desire to be good. And we just got to keep him on the field. And the more we can keep him on the field, he can kind of develop that consistency then that we need to be a really good football player.
Yeah, Curt, the move of Kamara to stud, what can that do for him? What are you kind of expecting from him, and what's the next step?
He played stud early in his career at JMU. His freshman year, he started as a true freshman. So a few more one-on-one pass rush opportunities, maybe not having to slide down inside, play inside a tackle with a 4 technique quite as much at that position as you do at field end. Your field end needs to be a little bigger guy in our defense.
Coach, a two-part question on the offensive line. Getting a mix of new guys and veterans who have been here, how are they gelling? And then how are some of these young redshirt freshmen like a Johnny and them adjusting?
Yeah, I mean, I see progress. Coogan's making progress. Carter Smith's got to get better. They all got to get better, right? All of them. And we got Benson and Evans, not Braxton. They'll be back in the fall. So the first line looks like an offensive line for the most part, functions like an offensive line for the most part. Got to continue to get better, working together, calls, a lot of multiples up front. for an offensive lineman. Some of the techniques are a little different for some of the newer guys. Some of the younger guys, I see progress. Johnny's made some progress. Libfried broke his hand and was in a big hand cast, so that's kind of limiting him a little bit right now. Wilkin has done a nice job. Merrick has done a nice job.
Hey, Curt, with Tyler going down, like you mentioned, first off, I guess what happened there was that just a freak play, and then when you look at what else you have at wide receiver, I guess how do you feel about the depth, the rest of the depth you have there? Is that an area you may look to readdress in the portal?
Well, we're thin number-wise, that's for sure, right now, and we're going to bring a number of walk-ons in the summer, in the fall camp, so we got enough. But and I think the freshmen in time will be okay. Kendrick and Bond are with us right now. And I like the guys that are out there. Mekhi Jackson has sort of been limited to a hamstring a little bit the last 2 practices. So, we're thin. We got Sam West out there playing a little slot receiver with the 2s at time. But, I like our top-line guys. I like Cooper, Surratt, EJ, Becker. I like those guys, And I think Bond and Kendrick, they have a future. So, Will we go shopping for another capable guy in case, we have an injury, perhaps. But we also have Chandler coming in the fall. But, he's a freshman. So
when you talk about moving West into the slot, is that kind of something more out of necessity right now, or is that
help us get through practice?
Okay.
Zach and then Joe.
Coach, talking about the tight ends, how comfortable and confident are you with them acting as both an extension of the offensive line and as pass catchers so far?
Well, I'm never comfortable. They got a way to go. I like Riley. He brings his lunch pail every day, and he gives you great effort, and Holden's got to work on his consistency.
Joe, on your right, last one.
Coach, how have you seen Fernando and Coach Whitmer kind of grow together and learn into these first 6 practices?
Well, we're trying to get Coach Whitmer up to speed with our offense a little bit because it's a new offense to him, and he hadn't been in college football in a while, and college football and pro football are really a lot different. Hash marks are different. The rules are a little different. So, and there's some things we're working on with Fernando. I thought he took a step forward today at practice. He's had some good days. He's had some really good plays. And is he where he needs to be right now? No. But I thought I saw a step forward today, and it's the same, you know what I mean? And Chandler, he's been around a lot of good people, but he really hasn't been responsible for coaching a position. So I'm coaching Chandler a lot right now. But we'll have him right just like we had Tino right at the end of spring.